Hey guys, it's Coach Tay. We're back with another video. Say hey, hey. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is so important to me because how many first-time home buyers? How many questions? How many people are in the process? Like the hands keep going up, right? Everyone has this question. I do not want anyone to be like I was during the first-time home buying process. And thankfully, the gods above provided a savior, okay, guys, to help me through this process. I wanted to let you guys know about this because it's very, very important. People are getting their credit up. You guys are telling me like so many different great stories. And sometimes a home purchase might be your next step. And if it is, this is definitely the video for you. So if you are tuned, if you're feeling great, make sure that you go ahead, you like this video, smash that subscribe button because I'm always giving you information about the finance, femininity, fun, and family. And if that's you, boo, make sure you stay tuned. I am going to go ahead and present now Miss Sonya Peterson. Miss Sonya Peterson came into my life, and she's going to give you a little bit about herself. But I do want you guys to know that I am super excited to present her today. Miss Sonya, welcome! Woo-hoo!
I love the energy. You are fantastic.
Oh, awesome. Well, we think the same about you, Miss Sonya. I know I personally do, but let the people know who you are, what you do, and like why you're a great representation, and tell us about first-time home buying needs and questions.
Well, as you said, I'm Sonya Peterson. I am an associate broker. I've been licensed in real estate about 17 years now. I got my license in 2004, and I just absolutely love helping people. And I know that sounds so cliche, but it's the honest truth. It's why I got my license. When I purchased my first home, in hindsight, I realized that I did not have representation. And that became extremely important to me for people to have representation, for people to have someone that is truly an advocate for them. Because in most cases, a home purchase is the biggest purchase someone is going to make in their life. And you need someone that is going to put you first. So I decided to get my real estate license. I'd always had an interest in real estate. I would collect the books. I would drive by the houses and all of that stuff. But truly, I got into it because I did not have an advocate for me. And I did not want someone else to go down that same path of not having an advocate, someone that would walk beside them in the process and keep their needs and educate them and just make sure that they made the right decision for them and their family.
Okay, so thank you so much. That is like some really great information. We are super excited to know about the first time home buying, frequently asked questions. So guys, you know how I am. I like to keep it real. I definitely had a presentation I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys because as you know, we want to know the information ourselves, right? We want to know what's really going on as a first-time home buyer. And Sonya is here to, give us the word on the street. So the questions, right, are answered. And sometimes we just don't feel comfortable. And if you're like me, like that, I kind of ask my questions in private. It's okay, honey. We got you on this video. Mm-hmm. So here's one of the top questions that we had for you, Miss Sonya. What are the 3 top questions you're asked as a realtor during the home buying process?
So most people want to know, what does my credit score need to be to buy a house? Can I buy a house with no money down? Or, how much money do I need to buy a house? Those are usually the questions that most people want to know the answer to. And we'll answer those, for you today. Absolutely.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Sonya, for letting us know that information and that you're going to go through that with us. So that way these questions can definitely get tailored too.
What credit score do you need for lending? Well, it really varies. So to me, there are levels to this question. It really depends upon loan type. For example, if you are going FHA, you can get approved with as low as a 580 credit score.
Wow. Okay.
Right. So that's exciting. But keep in mind, the lower the credit score, the more it's going to cost you, because typically the lower the score, the higher your interest rate is going to be.
Got it.
I'll be honest, you will be hard pressed to find a lender that will do 580, because even though FHA says they will do 580, most lenders place we'll say a limit. Most lenders aren't going to loan below a 620. That's reality. If so, again, like I say, you're going to have a significantly higher interest rate, which is then going to equate to a higher monthly payment for you. If you're going conventional, you'll need at least a 640. And people will ask, what's the difference between the two? If you have collections, again, you're looking at FHA. FHA will also let you have a higher debt to income ratio. So really, conventional is going to be for people who have a higher credit score and don't have any collections. You can also do what we call USDA. Now that's a 100% financing loan, but it's geared to more rural areas. And you can also do that with a 640 credit score. So 580, 640, 640. And if you want 100% financing, typically you need to be at least a 660 credit score.
Got it. So you guys heard it. It needs to be like a 660 that we're shooting for, if not higher, based upon the information that you've been receiving on the channel. Thank you so much for that. So let's go to the next question. All right. So the next question is very popular. Do you need a down payment for a home? Let us know, Miss Sonya.
That question is so popular. So the answer to that is yes and no. There are several down payment assistance programs available that will help you buy a home. What I will tell you is that in this particular market that we are in, getting a loan accepted with a down payment assistance program will be challenging, because a lot of those programs are underwritten twice. So the lender does underwriting, and then the program itself is going to underwrite it, which of course that means it's going to take a little bit more time to close. So you think about it as a seller. If you have your home on the market, you're getting multiple offers. Someone comes to the table and they say, I can close in 30 days. And this person comes and they say, I can close in 45. You're going to take the one that can close in 30 days. So that's the downside of, not having a down payment. But yes, you absolutely can. When the market is right, it is a great thing to be able to do down payment assistance. Now, I'll tell you again, you will pay a little higher interest rate because you don't have any skin in the game. So lenders look at that, because they are taking all the risk by doing 100% financing, because that's basically what they're doing. You don't have any skin in the game. It'll be much easier for you to walk away from a loan that you didn't put anything in. So that's their mindset. We all know that we're not trying to lose our homes. We've worked hard to get our credit where it needs to be. So nobody's really trying to walk away, but that's the mentality that they look at, is that you didn't put anything down, so you're going to pay a little higher interest rate for the money. So
okay, that's good to know. So just generally speaking, like, what should we be aiming for?
And so down payment, and again, it varies. So if you're doing an FHA loan, your down payment is 3.5% of the purchase price. So okay. If you're going conventional, you can do as low as 3%. You can do 10%. You can do 20%. It really just depends. Of course, the higher your credit score, the lower the required down payment is going to be. And then on that, I know we're talking about down payment, but just in expecting out-of-pocket expenses in general, just know before you ever get to the closing table, you're going to need to get an inspection. You're going to need earnest money. Earnest money is not required, in the state of Georgia. However, 99% of the time, people are putting earnest money down because it's showing the seller that you are sincere about the offer that you're making on the home. Now, does the earnest money belong to the seller? No, it does not. That earnest money will sit in an escrow account, either held by one of the brokerage firms or by the closing attorney. And then on closing day, that earnest money is then applied towards your down payment. So I just don't want people to think that you can come with zero. You're going to have earnest money. Typically, earnest money at minimum is 1% of the purchase price. I will tell you, in this seller's market, you probably will need to have more than 1% of the purchase price, because market impacts what you as a buyer will be able to do, and it impacts what sellers are going to do and what sellers are going to accept.
Oh, that is some extra coins of nuggets of knowledge. I'm loving it.
Right. We don't get everybody ready.
Real with us.
Exactly. Yes.
What are the top mistakes that home buyers make? What would you say that those are?
I would say being afraid to start the process. Your lease is up in July, and in May, you start the process. I tell people, if your lease is up in June, start in January, simply because that way you can do your application. If there's something that you need to fix, you've got time to work on that, and you don't have that pressure. And don't be afraid. Typically, what I tell people is, this is a discovery. Don't go into it, oh, I'm trying to get approved for a home. Go into it, I'm in my discovery phase. I want to make sure my credit is where it needs to be. And that way, or you may have an error on your credit report that you didn't even know about. So just allow yourself time. Don't wait to the last minute. Start early in the process so that you have time to relax and get it fixed. Because I tell you, it can be a stressful process, and you just don't want to add things to it by not feeling comfortable. And use your lender as an advocate. Don't be afraid, because the lender wants you to close, because if you don't close, they don't get paid either. So use that person as an advocate. Ask those questions. It's like you said, people are nervous, but ask questions. Stay in curiosity, because you're not going to know if you don't ask the question. So they make the mistake of not starting early.
Okay. That's what I was about to say. I mean, most time when people go for a home and home buying, it's like, I want this right now. And guys, just for me, like when I was searching, I was like, oh, I didn't know about this. Oh, I didn't know about that. Oh. And it just became like all these big questions of like, oh my goodness. Now becomes a discovery phase of making sure that you are ready and prepared. And I would definitely have to agree, because if you had known like 6 months ago, you would be able to finalize something there in the present where you might be currently. So don't feel bad about it. It's just that this important information is important. So that way we know when we're prepared to get the home of our dreams and our desires.
Exactly. So you know what? The lender may say your debt to income ratio is here, and if it was here, you would get a little better interest rate. And with 6 months, you may have time to pay off whatever that is and just put yourself in a little bit better situation. I think the other thing too is just not read about what's going on in the real estate market, because I think the other mistake people make is they listen to their friends and family who bought a house 6 years ago or 2 years ago. And the market, the market is not what it was 5 years ago. I have people who say, well, my sister bought her house 5 years ago, and the seller paid all of her closing costs, and it was listed at $200,000, and she got it for $170,000. Well, baby, this is 2021 and seller's market, and it's just different. It's just different.
Right. Well, let them know. Let them know. Let us all know, Miss Sonya. She's keeping it real, guys. If you all are feeling that this information is definitely helpful, make sure that you are letting us know so that way we can just thank you so much for the feedback or answer any questions that you might have below. This is very, very helpful. So let's keep going with what is the breakdown of lenders in financing before you make a purchase? Because you hear about, like you were mentioning, like FHA, there's VA, there's so many different types. And it's like, as a first-time home buyer, which one relates or what do they all mean? Can you break it down for us?
Yes. So FHA is usually what most first-time home buyers start out with. FHA loans are backed by the federal government. So, the government, the American dream is to own your own home. So that's why you look at that's why you look at a down payment of 3.5%. Because years ago, in order to go conventional, it was 20% down. It's no longer that way. So FHA was put in place to be able to help everyday people achieve the goal of home ownership, which is why, like we said, a 580 credit score, 3.5% down. And what I mean by those loans being backed by the federal government, the government says if this person defaults on the loan, then we will step in and take possession and make the lender whole. So that's why sometimes you may see HUD homes, because those homes have foreclosed and now they are in the possession of Housing and Urban Development. So that's what happens there. Conventional, like we said, normally for someone who has a higher credit score, may be equipped to put a little more money down. And the other thing with FHA is there's an automatic amendatory clause in an FHA financing contract. And it basically says if the house does not appraise, the buyer does not have to move forward. Whereas the clause in conventional basically says if it doesn't appraise, you can ask the seller to reduce the price. And if they don't, you can walk away. But with FHA, you don't have to ask the seller anything. You could just be like, I'm not going to move forward because, it didn't appraise. Then you have VA. Those loans are in place for veterans and they're 100%, no down payment. There are certain things that VA won't allow the veterans to pay for that's stipulated in the contract. And then again, like I said, USDA. Those are for people because, more rural areas, you're trying to get people to move out in more rural areas, some sprawl. So you've got loans that are geared to them as well. And they too are 100% financing. So if you want to go move way, 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 way out and not be close to the city, that's one of the benefits, like some parts of Villa Rica. And you can go online to USDA website and put in the address and it will tell you if a home falls within the USDA map, and then you'll know that, hey, you can go 100% financing on those.
Wow, that's some good tidbits. I mean, for me, Miss Sonya, I gotta be with the people. I gotta be with the people. I don't want no chickens looking me up.
You don't want to get out and leave your house and everything.
I'll be with the people. But hey, if that floats your boat, then go ahead and roll away. I'm just saying, for me, I don't know about all that, but I love the way that you broke everyone down. So that way, no matter who you are or where you are at in the process, you can identify what actually fits you and your family. So that was perfect. Oh, it's my favorite. How can followers get in contact with you for more information? Because today, if y'all were feeling Miss Sonya, make sure that you write something in the comments if this was definitely helpful, because she gave the business today. So let us know.
Well, there we go. So you can reach me on IG at My Realtor Sonya. Facebook is Your Realtor Sonya, and YouTube is Sonya.the.realtor. So
okay, great. And guys, I will definitely make sure that Miss Sonya's information is in the description box or is posted in a link so that way you all can connect with her, especially if you're in Georgia. Make sure that you get a realtor that cares. And what I mean by that is that there are plenty of people that are realtors that are out here and, but Miss Sonya has dedicated her time away from her clients to give us this information. And I am just so grateful. It was so juicy and good. So, especially if you're back here in Georgia, or if you just have a general question, her information is here, and make sure that you reach out. So, I definitely appreciate you so much, Miss Sonya. Thank you so much for just enlightening us, with your expertise.
Well, I appreciate it. I'm glad you asked me. And again, it is my mission. I consider real estate my ministry. And, just last for people, if they're looking to buy, just really get your credit where it needs to be and work on saving up, because this market, especially for buyers, it's a tough market out here, and you really want to be able to put your best foot forward, and that's how you'll be able to do it, is by having you a down payment and getting your credit where it needs to be.
All right. Awesome. Well, guys, I just want to thank everyone, all of my sunshines out there just shining away. You guys be blessed. Make sure that you smash that subscribe button for more information. I'm here on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram at Coach Tay Watley if you want to stay connected. And do not forget, after Miss Sonya had provided all those nuggets, to hit her up and like her too. So we just want to thank you guys so much for taking a little bit of time to learn about some first-time homebuyer FAQs.
Yes. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Bye.